everyone, welcome to EduTap. So in today's session we are going to discuss two very important news articles of finance. The first one is regarding the government that has allowed the Indians to receive up to rupees 10 lakh from the foreign relatives. So what was the limit before? What are the other changes that has been made by the government? All of this we are going to see in today's session, as well as the second news article is regarding the official data that has been released regarding the fraud cases of the banks. So we will see that news article also. So in today's session we will discuss both of the news articles in detail. Okay. So first of all, before starting with the session, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are new to the channel and join our Telegram channel for the PDF of this session. And you can get the link of the Telegram channel in the description box below. So now starting with the first news article, that is the government has allowed the Indians to receive up to rupees 10 lakh from relatives residing abroad. So before the limit was rupees 1 lakh. Okay, and this is the annual limit. This is the annual limit that before the change, the limit was rupees 1 lakh, that the Indians could receive only up to 1 lakh from the relatives residing abroad. If they receive above this amount, then they had to notify the government authorities. Okay, they can receive above this amount, but they have to notify the government authorities if they receive above this. So the Indians are now permitted to receive up to rupees 10 lakh annually compared to the previous limit of the rupees 1 lakh from the relatives who live overseas without notifying the authorities. So if they receive above this limit, then they have to notify the authorities. Otherwise, if they are receiving below this limit, they do not have to notify the authorities, government authorities. So the changes has been made by which ministry? So the changes has been made by Union Home Ministry. Okay, as well as the other provisions of the FCRA Act has also been changed, has also been amended, that we will see. So these provisions come under the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, that is FCRA. Okay, so what are the other regulations or the other amendments that has been made by the Union Home Ministry that we are going to see now? Okay, so the first change that has been made, the other important change that has been made by the Home Ministry, that the Home Ministry has stated that instead of 30 days, if the amount surpasses then the limit, if the amount is above the limit that is received by the Indians from the foreign relatives, overseas relatives, then now the individuals will get 90 days to notify the government. Before they had only 30 days. Okay. So the other change by the Home Ministry is that now it gives organizations or the NGOs, that is non-government organizations, that is receiving foreign fund 45 days instead of 15 days to notify the government of changes to their bank account, if they are changing their name, if they are changing their address, their aim of receiving the foreign money or key personal. Okay, so that is before they were only getting 15 days, but now they will get 45 days to make the changes with the government authorities. So next is government officials has prohibited the public employees from accepting foreign money under the FCRA amendment. So this is the other amendment. This is the other amendment that has been done under the FCRA Act. And they made Aadhaar a prerequisite, a very important thing for all NGOs office holders. Okay, so these are the important amendments. The other amendment or the new regulation that has come is, according to the new regulation, the organizations that receive foreign funding are not permitted to utilize more than 20% of those funds for administrative needs. So now only up to 20% of the foreign funding can be used for administrative needs. Okay, for the administrative purposes. Before the limit was 50%. Before 2020, this percentage was limited at 50%. This percentage was capped at 50%. But now the percentage has been reduced to 20%. That only 20% of the foreign funding can be used in the administrative needs. Okay. So the last amendment that we are going to discuss that has been done by the Home Ministry is that the amended rules have given individuals and the NGOs 45 days. They will have 45 days to inform the Home Ministry about the bank accounts in which they will be getting the foreign funding, they will be getting the foreign money that are to be used for utilization of such funds, and which bank account will be used for utilizing foreign funds. Okay, obtaining registration or prior permission under the FCRA to receive funds. So if it is a new bank account that they want to receive the foreign funds into, so they have to register that bank account, or they have to take the prior permission under the FCRA to receive the foreign funds in that particular bank account. Okay, and now they will get 45 days to do so. Okay, so these are the amendments, these are the new regulations under the FCR Act, and you have to remember that the most important change that has been made is to increase the limit from 1 lakh to 10 lakh. Now they can receive, the individuals, the Indians can receive up to 10 lakh without notifying the government authorities. Okay. So now the next news article is regarding the banks that has witnessed a decline in fraud cases in 2021-22. So the banking sector has witnessed a decline in fraud cases of over the sum of rupees 100 crore in 2021-22. So that is, we are seeing the fraud cases, where the amount is rupees 100 crore, where the amount is over the sum of rupees 100 crore. So we are seeing that fraud cases, and according to the official data, the number of fraud cases in private as well as public sector bank has dropped. Okay, in the cases where the amount was rupees 100 crores. So in the financial year 2022, that is in 2021-22, the cases has dropped to 118 from the 265 in 2020-21. So there are 118 cases in which the fraud was of above rupees 100 crores. Okay, before it was 265, before the cases were 265. In the case of public sector banks, the total number of fraud cases of over 100 crore, rupees 100 crore, declined to 80 from 167 in the financial year 2021. So the you can see that it nearly halved, okay, in the public sector banks, as well as for the private sector lenders. Such cases were reduced to 38 in the financial year 2021-22 from 98 earlier. So it has decreased to a lot in both the public sector and the private sector banks. Okay, especially the fraud cases of rupees 100 crore. We can see that the data is regarding the fraud cases of rupees above 100 crore. So that fraud cases has reduced a lot. So here, in terms of the cumulative amount, it came down to rupees 28,000 crore from rupees 65,900 crore. So before, so now the data is quite less, or the fraud cases, the money lost in the fraud cases, you can see it is quite less, that is rupees 28,000 crore than the prior data of rupees 65,900 crore. Okay, for the public sector banks it is. For private sector banks, the reduction is from rupees 39,900 crore to rupees 13,000 crore. So in the private sector bank, in the 2020-21, they had lost 39,900 crores in the fraud cases, but in financial year 2022, they lost 13,000 crores in the fraud cases. Okay. So RBI steps to check frauds that we are going to see. First of all, in a bid to check frauds, the RBI has taken a lot of measures, a lot of steps it has taken. Strengthening the fraud governance and the response system. So it has tried to increase that. The fraud governance and response system should be increased, that at least if there are any fraud, so the banks can give the proper responses. Okay, so the warning signals framework has came into account, that there are warning signals that has been told by the RBI, that these are the warning signals, that if the person is not paying, if the entity or the person is not paying the foreign bills or something, if the person is not regularly paying the interest, then that are the signals that the person is going to do some fraud. Augmenting data analysis for monitoring of transactions, that the transactions are happening properly, that the payments are going properly or not, on the regular intervals or not. Introduction of dedicated MI unit for frauds. Okay, to see even the machine learning, machine learning should be utilized, the computer should be utilized, the knowledge of the internet should be utilized to take all of this in account. So these are the questions that you have to you have to answer now. This is the first question and this is the second question that you have to answer. Very easy questions now. I have shown you the data of the bank frauds, that only the data that you have to remember, and that's it in the bank fraud cases. And in the in the money case, this is the question that is here, and I hope you can easily answer this one. Okay. So thank you very much. If you have any query, you can mail us here or you can contact us through this number. Thank you.